Hello! So I know it's been absolutely forever since I did a video, but I just wanted to come on and show you the planner which I've been using as my work planner for the last 8 or 9 months because I really love it, and I don't think it gets a lot of love online, and I'm sad about that because I really want them to keep making it because it is perfect for me. So this is the Scribbles That Matter B5 bullet planner. Scribbles That Matter came out with an A5 bullet planner a couple of months ago. It is not the same as this. If you are interested in the A5 bullet planner, you should go and look up someone else's video. There is some great videos out there. I was quite excited about it. I thought it might be this but smaller. It's not. The interior layout is really quite different in a lot of ways. So if you're interested in the A5 bullet planner, that is not this video. This video is the B5 bullet planner, which is bigger. So A5 is about like this and B5 is like this. It is chunky. It is heavy. I would not carry this around with me all the time. I keep this in the office almost always, and as a desk planner, it's perfectly fine, but it's not really a carry around sort of planner. I want to show you how I use this planner and how I have come to love it, because I've not come across a planner that works this well for me in a long time. So here we go. Here's where it starts. It is undated, but at the beginning of the planner you do get yearly calendars for 2017, 18 and 19. If you're buying it in 2019 and thinking, well, it's already February, what am I going to do? These are literally the only dates that appear in the book. So it's not really a dated planner at all. I mean, you might be a bit irritated that you don't have a year at a glance, but there's pages where you could put one in if you wanted to. So firstly, we get the annual tracker. Annual tracker, you get 2 of these. They're counted from week 0 to 52, so you can start that any time of the year. I use these 2 for tracking 2 long-term regular things that I do at work. I do a weekly podcast and a quarterly magazine, and I use these to track what's in the podcast every week, to keep a note of what sort of genre it is so that we're not becoming too repetitive, what's going to be in each issue of the magazine. I find that really helps. The ones that I've plans for, I write in pencil. The ones that I've done, I write in pen so I can see where I'm at. Really like that. Obviously you can use it as a habit tracker, that's what it's designed for, but I've really found it helpful for these long-term regular project tracking. Over the page you get some pages which are just blank dot grid paper you can use for anything you like. Then we get on to the monthly spreads. Now the monthly spreads, I have to say, have not been my favourite. I've slightly struggled. I've tried using them in different ways and I've more or less ended up not really using them at all. As we go through, you can see that was January, nothing really. Over the weekend I had a little bit of a revelation and I thought, I know what I'm going to try in these monthly planners, because basically I use this planner as a project planner rather than a regular appointment planner. So why don't I use the monthly spreads for big projects? So I have a big project at the moment. It's called the Priscilla program. It's a training program that I am setting up. There's a lot of things need doing, and actually I've just set this up today and I really like it. So over here I've got this is what it is. I've made a sticker for that, and then I've used this instead of this monthly tracker. I'm going to use this to track student numbers every term. Over here, this is tracking now my progress in lecture writing and filming, and also worksheet preparing for each of the modules. Seems to work quite well. I've got a little scheme for how I fill that in. I've got the big goals that need doing. I've got the more immediate things. It says this month's tasks, but that's not really this month necessarily. It's just my next list of tasks to do for this. So I can work from this kind of big, here's the whole project in overview, to where I work out what I'm going to do each week on that. And I think that could work quite well. There's obviously 12 of these, so I haven't set up all of them yet, but I think that could work really well as a sort of overview of a big project, tracking different things here and different things here, and writing down some goals. So that's, we're going to see how that goes, but I'm liking how that's working as I've set that up. The main thing that you get with this bullet planner is the weekly layout and the monthly layout. So this is the weekly layout, Monday to Sunday, 24 hours in the day, and a lot of blank space. a lot of blank space that you can fill in however you want. You can stickerate it up, you can decorate in all kinds of ways, or you could make this very functional. You can extend the column for each day so that you've got space at the beginning of each day and at the end of it. And most of us will not have 24 hours worth of appointments either, so you can work out, you know, the section that you actually need to keep for that, and actually you could have really quite long sections for filling in other stuff around that. You can fill in other stuff around the top and down the side. You know, it's a planner. They are hourly sections rather than half hourly, but if you felt that you really needed them to be half hourly, you could easily get a sticker to cover this up and make that 12 hours worth with half hourly segments if you preferred. That's the weekly layout, and then this is the daily layout, which again gives you space Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You could have Saturday and then draw this in half and have Sunday if you wanted to keep something for all 7 days of the week and then have a little note space. If you work Monday to Friday, then you've got a really big workspace. You could, you know, there's different ways you can arrange that layout. They are labelled by the days of the week, but it's pretty unobtrusive. You want to just cross that out, sticker right over that. You can use them in different ways, and that is what I do. So let me show you how I actually use the weekly and daily layout. So this is a weekly layout. I don't do a whole lot of stuff around here, so as you can see I have decoration at the front, down the sides. There's a little quote that you get each week, so you can see along here. They're pretty unobtrusive. If you're not really into quotes in your planner, you can more or less ignore them. I quite often do stickerate over them and maybe fit my own quote in. And basically I just use this spread for timekeeping, appointments, meetings, things that are time specific to remind me where I need to be when. It doesn't get a lot of use, but I do need this page. I do need somewhere where I'm keeping track of those things. And I also just keep track of the hours that I've worked, just to kind of, for my own benefit really, to make sure that I'm not regularly working a lot more hours than planned, but that I am doing the sort of hours that I'm supposed to. So that's what I do on here. I generally don't work Friday to Sunday, so this tends to be quite empty. And you know, you could do a lot of stuff with that space. If you're someone who doesn't work weekends, for example, you've got a lot of space here if you want to do list writing or whatever you like. And then here, I don't use these as daily lists. I use these as project lists. The different projects that I'm working on, what needs to be done in those projects this week. And I'll write a list, and usually what I do is like here, I'll put a little checkbox, but also quite often I will go through and put the initial of the day that I plan to do that. So I don't put them in here because it's not a scheduled appointment. It's not the end of the world if something gets shifted around. It's just, I think, oh, actually, I'll probably do that on Wednesday. I need to think about this on Thursday. This always happens on a Monday, and so on, just so I can get a sense of where my week is going. But writing these to-do lists project-based rather than day-based makes so much more sense with the kind of work that I do. It really helps me to see what are the things I'm doing this week, what are my priorities, what things can be moved from this week. So I've got a couple of things here, for example, that I put this week, but actually I think quite likely they will end up being shifted a week forward, and so on. This is the thing I'm trialling this week, having a space for next week. So things that come up during the week that I think, oh, actually I must remember to do that, but it doesn't need to go in this week. I can put them in here for a sort of forward log. Yeah, so that's kind of how this works for me. There's 4 different sections: the annual trackers, the monthly pages, which I'm making into project pages, the weekly time planning, and then the daily pages, which I use as kind of project to-do lists. I sometimes write to-do things on this page as well. If there are things that need doing on a particular day, I'll write them in here as well. But mostly this is where the to-do lists go. And so you can see how I think that will work, moving from the sort of overview project page to check the tasks that are on there, the goals that are on there, the checking on there. Okay, what do I need to do this week for that? That is the bulk of the planner, is those weekly and daily pages. There's a couple more blank pages at the back. There's a pen test page. There's a page where you could store your online accounts and passwords if you so choose. There's a pocket at the back, which I don't really use, but that is a planner that I do use. It does only come in this colourway, and I don't mind this colourway. I quite like it. It's quite bright and cheerful. I would love to have this in different colourways. I would love to have this as an ongoing planner. I don't think it needs to be dated at all. I think they could get rid of that calendar in the front quite easily and just have this as an undated, anytime work planner. And I love it.